Welcome back to It's Showtime, the Craig L. Hayes Show. All right, everybody, we're here again with Kay, just Kay. And we're on the road again with It's Showtime, the Craig L. Hayes Show. I am Craig L. Hayes. Welcome back. All right, Kay, you had a couple more things you want to talk about before we move on to your next set of exploits.
Well, yeah. Once I was a little more seasoned, I figured out that I liked being on the bounce. So I was very reluctant to take a steady job at any house. But I landed over at the Landmark, which got blown up and
Mars Attacks.
Mars Attacks. It got attacked.
Yep.
But I was in the lounge there doing the best of burlesque. And that it was pretty close to a classic burlesque show, if I can just say the word. Anyway, I was there with Steve Gellhart, Merle West, who decided that I had actually seduced my way into a spot position there. So that was always a lovely relationship with that one. Anyway, stayed there for a while, and then I bounced over to the Flamingo and did the strike for Razzle Dazzle, which was the production show that had been in there for years. And I guess I had been in there running Spotlight once or twice for Razzle Dazzle. And they called me in for the strike when they were going to take out Razzle Dazzle and put in City Lights. And so did put in City Lights, Assistant Electric, and occasionally Spotlight. But my Assistant Electric stint, or my responsibilities, they had a multi-level platform and stairs stage that you would move into different configurations for a different number. And they all had to be unplugged and plugged back in. So I was basically under the deck a lot. And my most favorite memory of that was that one Halloween, I got myself a gorilla mask. And didn't tell anybody about it, but I was underneath the stage, plugging stuff up. And before a number would start, I would pop my head up, wave at the showgirls, and then hide back under the stage. The reason I left City Lights, I asked the fellow Spotlight operators and Deck Electric, I asked, what am I asking? I am asking if I can go home for Christmas. Because I hadn't been home for Christmas in a couple of years. Back to Minnesota. So I asked the head electric. I asked the head carpenter. I asked the stage manager. And the entertainment director of the Flamingo told me I could not go home for Christmas. Everybody else that would have to cover my position were fine with it. Everybody, yeah, no problem. Go ahead. Go home. Go see your family. The top dog decided that he did not want me to leave at Christmas. So I quit.
Who was it?
Dick Lane.
Dick Lane.
That was not fair.
Yeah, I was trying to remember if I've ever worked for him. I don't think I ever did. I don't think I ever worked in a hotel that he was entertainment director.
I don't know.
Had plenty of them.
Yeah. Terry Little was another one in the hierarchy of Hilton Entertainment.
Yes.
And I bought my first house with my first ex-husband from stage manager Pat Cummings.
Oh, okay.
Pat Cummings was our realtor. Lots of stagehands have real estate licenses too.
Yep.
It's a good connection. Anyway, the circle of life, I put in City Lights, and I ended up being on the strike crew for City Lights taking it out when they went back to star policy. So that was a full circle on that one. Anyway, back on the bounce, doo-doo-doo, and ended up at Splash 2 weeks before Splash opened in 1984. I started working there as assistant electric with Chris Cook and Dennis Silva, Jerry Abraham, and Cohen.
David. Wasn't it
Dave Cohen. Dave Cohen.
Cohen, yeah.
He was another one of those spotlight operators that you could program, and he would be exactly the same every single night. He was a robot. Never made a mistake.
All 5 days a week, he was out changing light bulbs for the city of Las Vegas, street
Yeah.
lights, and then nighttime, 3 times a week, whatever it was, would be in running spotlight.
Yep.
Every stagehand has 2 jobs that I know.
I had 2 jobs, stagehand and mom.
Yeah, that's a bigger job.
While I was at Splash, I was recently married. In 86, I had my son, and at 8 weeks pregnant, I climbed a 20-foot A-frame. 8 months pregnant. I stayed in my 501 jeans until I was 6 months pregnant.
That's pretty good. That's
I
pretty
know.
good, yeah.
I can't fit into them anymore.
Nah, none of us try.
Give it up.
You know how skinny I was back at Splash.
Oh, yeah.
Nothing. Now I'm, 240.
What was your nickname from Carrie?
Dog bone, yeah.
He was a skinny mini.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I had my son in 1986, and I had my daughter in 1988. And that was all while I was working at Splash. And that was my turning my page to Splash. I was there for 11 years,
Okay.
from 2 weeks before it opened until after my first divorce.
So you were there till basically 95 or so?
95.
Okay.
95, actually, I think starting in 94, I was being trained to run teleprompter. And I knew how to type. Oh, that was my conversation with my new boss at Electro Controls when my old boss, professor, died. The meeting with my new boss, only thing he asked me was, "Can you type?" I saw the writing on the wall. I'm like, I'm out of here. He's going to pigeonhole me into being a secretary. That didn't work. I left. That's when I left. Anyway, Spot, at Splash, I teamed up with Dennis Silva on back spots at the top of the towers, the light towers. We had 2 back spots. And Dennis and I started there. And I ended up getting tapped to do front of house spot relief and then permanent front of house, and Dennis moved up with me. We ended up being so comfortable with that show and how the cues were called and everything that we could do silent shows. No cues called at all and be on top of it.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Well, they always said, come back and see the show tomorrow because no 2 shows are alike. And there was little differences every show. But yeah, for the most part, the show was, once it got locked in, it was pretty well there unless they brought in a guest artist or something. But
We always loved the conflict of open floor fountains and dancers.
yeah,
It would happen maybe once a month. Somebody would go into the hole,
yep, into the water effects.
into the water effects. That was fun.
My favorite thing on stage for that thing was when dancers would come off and go, "The floor is wet." It's like, yeah, it's a water show.
Duh.
I
Yeah.
don't know what you expect everyone to do. The floor is wet. It's water effects everywhere.
I think it cut back on that when they put grates over the holes.
Yeah, it did a bit.
But still, it's not a happy place for a dancer to be,
No, it's a very difficult place to dance, and you sign up knowing it's going to be very difficult because it's a wet floor. It's marly floor that's going to get wet and it's going to be slippery.
Oh,
I know what to tell you. That's what it is.
that's why they got short chicks.
Yeah.
Because the lower center of gravity, they don't tip over
Down.
that.
Yeah.
I love dancers. I think I was an unrequited dancer or performer, but because I appreciate them so much, I still to this day, I just empathize. I love theater musicals. I love, seeing shows, although I haven't gone to a show since the last one I saw was Love at the, Mist- um, what's the name of that hotel? Mirage.
Mirage.
Mirage was where Love was. That was.
Mirage is not even there, so there you go.
And I haven't been down to the Strip. I have no idea what's there and what's not there anymore.
A huge guitar where you can go stay inside of a guitar. Your room out in front of Mirage now.
Really?
It's really strange. Yeah. The fire, volcanoes gone. All that stuff out there is gone.
That's so sad.
Yeah. And now it's there's a hotel. They made this huge guitar where you could go stay in the guitar. It's rooms. So, hey, I'm looking and going, well, why not? We got a pyramid over there. We got a castle over there. We got little Venice over here. So
Yep.
why not a guitar?
That must be a very big
It's huge.
guitar.
Yes.
I'll have to go see it one of these days.
Yeah, wait for it to get done. They're still building it.
Oh, are they? Okay. I procrastinate a lot, so I'll get to it maybe before they tear it down.
Yeah. Well, out here where you're living, and when I come to Vegas, I just stay down the street here a little ways away. I don't go down to the Strip for nothing.
No.
And if I go someplace, I go over to Santa Fe,
Yeah.
see a show there or a movie or something like that.
Yeah.
But I try to stay away from the Strip or anywhere else. It's like, no, thank you.
You're a typical Las Vegan.
Yeah,
They had to pay me to go to the Strip.
that's how I looked at it.
Yeah.
You want me to go to a showroom, you got to pay me.
Yep. Anyway, my era at Splash was back spot, front spot, assistant deck electric, head deck electric. I took Glenzo's spot
Oh, did you? Okay.
on relief. Relief had water, relieved Lionel after Mike Emming left. Q caller gave Carrie days off, and so I was relief. Period. I didn't have a steady job. I didn't put down head electric. I was head electric officially, much to the chagrin of, not Jeff Kutash, but his ace assistant. Marty Romley. I used to always ask him, after I met him and got to know him a little bit, my only comment to him was, "Have you gotten a job yet?" He didn't like me much, but he did give me the head electric job that I hated. I didn't want it, so they brought in with the thumb,
Jensen.
Roy Jensen.
Roy Jensen. Yep.
Yeah, he took over. I was not interested.
What year was that? Because
Oh God,
95,
must be like 93, 94 maybe.
well, Roy loaded in, 93, they put in
Splash 2.
Starlight. And
Oh.
Roy was over there.
Oh,
So
and he went to Splash after Starlight?
I'm thinking that's what he had to do because he got knocked out of the big chair over there as head electric. I'm thinking 95, 96, somewhere in
been.
there.
I was on my way out the door. I learned how to run a teleprompter. I was done sweating.
I don't know, teleprompter operator, man, that's not an easy one either.
It's mental.
It's a mental, man, and they change things on the fly, and you gotta. I don't think that's an easy one.
No,
I
I
wouldn't
never,
wanna do it.
I never said that running teleprompter was easy. I said less sweat.
Okay.
Okay. Mental stress. Oh, yeah. It takes a rare bird to sit in that chair and keep your shit together. Because you never know what you're going to get. You know, you go into a situation where you have somebody who's never gotten up in front of an audience, let alone spoken from a teleprompter. You've got stars that, like Lionel Richie, I ran teleprompter for him one time, and he would change the words on songs that he had written. I'm like, really?
Wow.
And he had a teleprompter right there giving him the words. And he would not sing those words. And not being creative, just not paying attention. You know, it was amazing and very difficult. Anyway, he after I got divorced in '94, I got a little more freedom. I knew that I would have better leverage with the courts if I had a steady job when we were getting divorced, because my husband got free legal from Teamsters.
Oh,
He was a Teamster. So, you know, that definitely gave him an advantage. And he's, you know, was doing his best to manipulate and just to hurt,
yeah.
you know. He was an angry Italian. Wanted his own way. Narcissist. Very narcissist.
Yeah.
Anyway, how I found that husband? I had two male roommates. We shared a house, separate bedrooms. Don Peterson and Jerry Peterson. And Don and I were working at the Hilton, and also Greg Enneper, which ended up being my second husband after we had been friends for 22 years or something like that.
How about that?
Anyway, Don and Greg, we would go out between shows, of course, shoot pool, drink. And my first husband, Rich, met them first at a bar in between shows, and I was off. And they both came back and told me the next day, "Oh, you need to meet this guy. You would love him." I said, I'll never meet him. You know, he's barfly and he'll never show up again." And we frequented different bars in between shows. We spread our money around different places.
Okay.
Anyway, yeah, so Don and Greg met him first, and then a couple nights later, he and his best friend came to the bar that we usually hung out in, and I was there. He came back to see the second show, he and his best friend. And the rest is kind of history. His family was on their best behavior when I was around. If you want to get the gist of that, they were all angry Italians, except for Mama. Mama was the sweetest caricature of a little Italian mama, grandma, eventually grandma. But my ex was raised with 4 sisters. Closest in age was 11 years older. He was quite the surprise.
Wow.
But here's the only male besides Dad, so they had their baby boy. And he had 5 moms that did everything for him. Yeah, but he was a good provider. He always brought his paycheck home, but he ended up being a cheater and an abuser and nasty to our children. And 11 years later, I finally broke free. I moved out 2 different times, ready to be done with this angry Italian. He thought his best way to punish me if I didn't act the way he liked was to not eat my dinner that I made. Okay, I hate cooking, you don't eat my dinner, you could have it tomorrow night.
Yeah.
I don't care.
We have those things called microwaves.
You can heat it up anytime you want. Anyway, yeah, after me having moved out twice, once I disappeared. Once I took the kids and disappeared. I didn't go to my parents. I didn't go to my sisters. Nothing. I disappeared. And only resurfaced after he agreed to go to counseling, get on Prozac, be a human being. And it lasted a month. So, finally, it was just after Christmas. Just after Christmas, I think so. And in '94, he decided that he couldn't trust me anymore. That he felt like I wasn't capable of being a proper wife and mother. And so he said, I think we should split up. Okay. Inside, my heart was leaping. I was dancing. Outside I was crying. Okay. Because I had kind of resolved myself to the idea that I was stuck. Because every time I split, he would either find me or persuade me or manipulate the world so that I would come back. One time I even cleared out the whole house.
Wow.
Yeah. I left him the waterbed and a recliner. That's it. I even took the fridge. And my second husband, Greg, was there to help me do that.
Oh, nice.
Well, he lived right in the neighborhood, and we had seen each other at the grocery store a couple times. And I asked, he had a trailer. Thanks. But that was before we got involved. Anyway, is this a break time?
Yeah, we're just about there. Like I said, we could do it now or wait for another minute or two, but
Okay,
if
do it
we're
now.
here, we'll
Little transition
towards
time.
it. Just give me 30 seconds to wake up the iPad so I can do my outro. Oop, not that one. Not that one. There we go. Then I have to unmute it. Hope I hit the right one. I did. Okay, well, with that, we're going to take a little bit of a break and play
You're
the
listening
outro.
to It's Showtime,
Like he's saying.
the Craig L. Hayes Show.
That's me.